Welcome to the next section of the next part of section 2, which is setting up WordPress. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our main browser and we're going to go to wordpress.org and then we're going to click on Get WordPress and we're going to click on download WordPress 6.4.2. That's the current version, but you'll just, depending on when you're watching this, you'll just download the version that's available. So we're going to download that. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip to where it's downloaded. Okay, so now you can see we've downloaded it. So we're just going to open up our downloads folder and we've got it here. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy this folder and you're going to go into where you installed the WAMP directory, into the www folder, and I've already installed it, but what we're going to do is we're just going to create another folder, but you would name this folder whatever you want. If you want to name it WordPress like I did initially, you're welcome to do that, but because I've already got a WordPress directory with a website there, I'm just going to call it WordPress test. And then what I'm going to do is go into this folder and I'm going to go click on paste, and then I'm going to right click on this . It's taken a bit of a while. Okay, and then we're going to click extract all, and actually if we open this up and we go to File Explorer, so what you would want to do is we actually want to go in here and we want to extract all of these files, like the whole thing, and just click on copy and go back to the WordPress test directory and paste them into there. So this is going to take a little bit of a while, so we're just going to skip to where this is done. Alright, so now we've extracted these files. So what we need to do now is we need to actually set up the server. So we're going to go to the start menu if it's on a Windows machine. I'm going to go to WAMP and press enter, and that's going to start the server. And you want it to say all services running, and when you hover over this it should say all services running. Now what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to this directory. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to localhost and then the name of the folder where we will put our WordPress files in. And that's going to take us to this page here. We're going to leave it as English United States. And so what we need to do now is we need to create a database name, username, password. So what we're going to do is when you're uploading this to a live server, you won't be able to do this, but on a default installation on your local host, you should be able to just use the username of root and password of nil. But what we need to do is we need to create a database for this particular website. So what we're going to do is we're going to hover to the icons menu. We're going to left click on this icon here. That's going to go to phpMyAdmin, hover over it, and then we're going to left click on phpMyAdmin. And that's going to open up another browser. We're just going to leave it as root and the default and log in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a database. So we're going to click on databases up here. And we're going to we're going to rename it. And we're going to we're going to just call it WordPress test, but you would call it WordPress. The only reason I'm calling it WordPress test is because I've already got databases installed. But if you want to keep it simple, just call it WordPress. I'm going to click on create. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this folder. We're going to put the name of the database that we created, which in my case is WordPress test. In your case, it's just going to be WordPress. Username root, password is nothing. Database host, leave it as localhost, leave that. And then we're going to click on submit. And that's going to say that it can communicate with the database. And now we're going to click on run installation. The site title is not important. You can change it later. We'll just call it WordPress test. Username, we'll just call it that. Now, this is important. This username is what you're actually going to be logging into the backend with, right? So whatever you put it as, you need to remember it, because if you forget it, you'll either have to reinstall it again, or you'll have to go through a convoluted method of finding out what your password is. So what you're going to do is you're just going to create a username that's going to be your login username and a password, preferably a strong password, because this is going to be used to access the back end of your website. Then you can just put in your email address. And then we'll just click on install WordPress. Oh, okay, must provide an email address. Okay, so let's provide an email address. It'll just be yep. And then we're going to click on install WordPress. And that's installed. So we're going to click on login. And this will take you to the backend. So now you've installed WordPress. So this is the end of section 2. Now we're actually going to move on to the next section where we actually start configuring the website to be used. So moving on to that section now.